Hi, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. So, I've been reading a book, The Garden by John Gordon, and it has been a great book. It's a tale that talks about the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve's choices that they had. And we all have choices. And I love how it just integrates um, what's coming at us, how we're being attacked. And a lot of this I know, right? We've read scriptures, we know the story, but it's always good to get someone else's perspective. And um, we have this unseen battle that I've been saying for years that we've been fighting. And you know, especially over Easter time, I've been thinking, wow, we are so special and amazing that we are being fought for on two different levels. Satan's fighting for our soul, and so is Christ. Christ died so that we can live again. He sacrificed, gave the ultimate sacrifice in our behalf. And for us to be that valuable, this war is being waged. So the biggest thing that holds us back is doubt. We doubt. We start having these, and I think it just happens when we come to this earth. We know exactly what we were sent to do. We don't have the ability to talk. We don't have the ability to, I don't believe the veil is completely closed. I believe babies see through that veil, and they are still getting messages downloaded to them as babies. And it's when children start to learn to talk is when it slowly closes, and they lose that. And it's like they have to take everything that they've been sent with and go, and like, okay, fly, you're on your own. But unfortunately, as kids get older, they lose sight of who they are, and they hear messages like from other kids on the playground, maybe their parents, teachers. They just take all these messages that they've had and they get, and they're lies. Most of them are lies. When it's like, well, you can't join this group because you're not good enough, because you don't have what it takes. Um, you're at the bottom of the class, so you're not as smart, or you're better than everybody else because you're at the top of the class. You're so smart, good for you. And so whatever the message is, they're lies, and we believe into them. But these messages, they're not ours. They're not ours. It's these thoughts that we get all the time that aren't good. They don't come from us. They come from this unseen battle that we're fighting all the time. They come from the devil himself and his angels. And it's up to us to decipher when that's going on, that we put an end to it. We get to choose how we deal with this doubt and these fears. When we have doubt and fear, it just keeps us stuck and we can't move forward. And so it's important to know how to combat doubt. Doubt is combated with trust. Trust God. Trust God. God has your back. He doesn't force himself on us. He doesn't. That's a choice we get to make. We get to make whether we trust him or not. So it's easier said than done, I know, a lot of the times, but he has our interest best at heart. He knows exactly the end game, and sometimes we don't understand. And trust is hard to learn for a lot of people, but it's easier than fighting this battle on our own. We can't do things on our own. And the natural man, we tend to go, oh, how am I going to handle this battle? How am I going to handle this trial? I've got to do this, or who do I talk to for this? I need help with this. And we forget that God is all knowing, and he is there to help us fight our battles, and to just trust him. Take everything to him and say, okay, God, you got this. I don't know what I'm doing here, but you've got this. So help me, lead me, direct me, whatever it is, but I need your help. And God will. He does, and he will, because he is invested in us. We are his. I mean, what do we do for our children as parents? We will do anything it takes to help them, right? But our capacity is so small, and God's is so great. We can expand our lungs in our chest by taking in air, but God, he can expand the universe. I mean, it's well beyond us, right? And he's a mysterious God and an all-knowing God. And so just to know his ways, we'll never know his ways, right? So just to trust that he's got you. Trust is something, like I said, that's easier said than done. But if we learn to just stop fighting, figuring things out, we can do it on our own. Maybe we can think of somebody that can help us. But if we just turn to God at all times, he's got our back. So we can combat this doubt that I'm not good enough. Replace it with, because I am a child of God, I can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. I love the positive affirmations. I am choosing. I am choosing peace. I am choosing Christ. I am choosing joy. I am choosing to take my problems to God before I take it to the world on social media. I am choosing to have a personal relationship with God. So God doesn't force himself on us. That is something that we are invited, and God and Christ have their arms outstretched to us, and we get to choose. But this doubt and these fears that creep up in our life, they keep us stuck, and they keep us in this funk, and we doubt everything. And this doubt is inward. We doubt everything about ourselves, our worth, and whether it's spiritual, emotional, mental, or physical, we doubt everything, and we start questioning things. When we have trust, we don't question. And when you have enough experience and you trust God and choose God over and over, it just takes practice, because when you choose God, you start to realize, okay, this is my mission. This is my purpose. I believe we all knew our mission and purpose well before we came here. And as we knew this when we were tiny in babes, and then we start talking and we learn and we get other people's ideas filling our heads, and we lose sight of who we are and what we came to be, because we start to buy into all these lies on the playground and in the classroom and in the home and from the television set. We start believing all these lies that we're not good enough and we have to be a certain way to be loved by anybody, including God. And so we start second guessing everything, and we lose sight of who we are. And our job is to get that back, because we have it. We still have it within. And our job is to connect with the inner child and to connect with God and say, okay, God, if you don't know what your purpose is and you're full of doubts, it's time to say, okay, God, I'm turning it over to you. And what is my mission? What is my purpose? What am I here for? And start asking and connecting with God, and he will let you know what that is. So when we replace that doubt with trust, we will be able to be guided so much easier when we have broken hearts and contrite spirits, and when we're willing to say, okay, your will, not mine. And by the way, show me how to do it, because I don't know what it looks like. When we're willing to turn everything over to him and having that trust, we will be able to move forward and get the answers that we need. And moving forward means we learn our purpose. We take our experiences, good and bad, and all of our trials and the experiences that we have had up to this point, and we say, okay, I've gone through this and this and this and this. I can either be the victim or the victor through Christ. I can stay in victim mode, or I can heal. I can choose healing. I can choose God. I can choose God to help me get through. And hey, God, by the way, Heavenly Father, how do I get through this? How do I move forward in this? He will show you the way. And when we know and figure out what our purpose is in life, we're unstoppable. And when we know our purpose and mission in life, we also know our true identity. Our true identity is knowing exactly who we are and whose we are. I was raised a Christian my whole life, and I already knew that I was a child of God. But knowing and believing and living it is a whole different story. We can know something all day long, but until we start integrating principles and truths, then we don't know it. And I like in this garden, the book, The Garden by John Gordon, he talks about, he gives the analogy of eating a piece of cake and the goodness of it. And if somebody hasn't eaten the piece of cake, we can't fully describe how good this cake is until someone partakes of it of themselves and experiences it themselves. And we get to choose this coming to God. We have a choice every day, this unseen battle that we are fighting every day. There's two sides, right? There's good versus evil, and we get to choose which side we're going to be on. And it's through every action and every decision. Boy, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I'm looking at my day every day and my day yesterday and just paying attention to what we say and how we respond to others. I homeschool my kiddos, and I have for going on 21 years. And I don't have a patience all the time. There's times where I have to ask God to forgive me for losing my patience and having a temper with my kids. And so it is such a battle that we're fighting all the time, and we're being bombarded. And every decision we make, we get to choose whether it's going to be in doubt and fear or with trust and faith moving forward. And we're going to make mistakes. And the important part is we utilize that atonement, and we utilize prayer, that sacred tool that we all have. And God wants to hear from you. You don't have to look a certain way, be a certain way. He is not a respecter of persons. He loves us all, and he wants us to come to him because he can help, and he knows that his ways are ways that will bring happiness and joy, and he knows that when we choose the evil side of things, when we choose to do things that are contrary to God within, then it's going to divide us, and we aren't going to have a connection with him. And so, number one thing to edge any doubt is to connect with God. Strive to connect with God. You can do it through prayer. You can do it through reading his words. You can do it through singing a hymn, singing praises to God, having gratitude for anything and everything. There's so many things that I have found I take for granted. And, for the longest time, I never would have said I'm thankful for my trials. I'm thankful for all the things that came my way. But I can now. I am truly grateful for everything that has come my way, because I wouldn't be who I am today without those. So having that trust and having a connection to God will edge out all doubt. It will just take doubt and leave it to the side. But here's the key. We can't just, it's not a one-time thing. This battle is not going to go away. You might think you've got, okay, I don't doubt anymore. I have trust in God. Believe you me, you're going to be tested, and you're going to have something else thrown at you. So it's important to always be on guard and never think you have a lesson learned, because it's going to keep coming back in different forms and different manners. So it's important to always have that trust and include God in your battle to help fight your battles. He's the strongest. He's the wisest. He's the all-knowing. So just having that tool is going to help us move forward. So just in the comments below, maybe share some of your doubts that you've had. What doubts can you get rid of? What doubts are lies? Because that's all they are. The doubts are lies. And so what lies have been going on in your mind right now the last 2 weeks? What lies have been feeding your mind? Write them on one side of the paper, and on the other side, replace those lies with truths. okay? Because you are worthy and we are loved and we are capable. Through Christ, all things are possible, and He will give us the strength we need. So it's important to rely on those superpowers that we have because God is in us. So God bless. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And again, this channel is for those who are wanting a stronger connection with God, themselves, and others around through mindfulness techniques, inner child work. This channel is to help you progress forward. Comment in the comments below anything that you would like me to help with, a topic. I don't know everything, but I have learned so much on my journey that I haven't been dealing with suicidal thoughts or depression that I've had for 30 plus years. I've gone on 9 years, going on 9 years without any of that because I have the tools that have helped me move forward, and I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck in a rut with doubt all the time and fears. I have the tools to move forward, and that's what I try to help. So put in the comment below what I can help with, and God bless, and until next time, bye.